Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver is ridiculously cheap relative to gold. Why is this? What is going on here? We see the gold to silver ratio, the highest it's been in 5,000 years since the beginning of precious metals, since the beginning of changeable currency in man. What is going on here? Silver's always been seen as a value, right? Back in the day, it was much closer to gold, around 8 to 1, 16 to 1. Now we see it as high as 125 to 1 as of in March. What is going on? Now this article is going to explain why silver is so cheap. I actually have another article as well. Both of these will be in the description or in the comment or in the description of this video if you want to check them out yourself. Make sure you smash that like button though. Let's see if this video can get 200 likes. Everyone go like the video now. I actually just made another video earlier today talking about how silver could be the vaccine that cures this virus. Interesting stuff right now. We're in very interesting times, and silver is widely used in many things, especially in the medical world. So silver is historically cheap relative to gold. The gold to silver ratio, the gold price divided by silver's price, reached all-time highs in March. The total number of ounces it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold is at 113, very close to those highs. Metals investors are wondering whether or not opportunity is knocking. The fact is that silver has looked like a bargain relative to gold for a while. The gold to silver ratio consistently fluctuated between 70 and 90 over recent years. Even those levels were high relative to the historical average. Unfortunately, markets these days are far more likely than ever to punish people for making perfectly rational investment decisions. And that's because the markets are so crazy right now. The gold to silver ratio in the high 80s at the beginning of 2020 implied silver was the greater bargain. But investors who bought silver instead of gold lost ground when the pandemic panic hit. Many who would have considered silver a no-brainer versus gold at current prices are now second-guessing. They wonder if something has changed. Is silver going to trade primarily as an industrial metal, which means it would be lower? Is gold the only real safe haven asset or effective hedge against the dollar devaluation? While it is possible that investment trends in psychology have shifted permanently, we highly doubt it. Silver is underperforming in the paper markets. Only those markets are disconnected from reality. Investment demand for silver, for physical silver, has never been higher, right? I just made an article about the Silver Institute, and demand is rocketing. This is the truth in both retail bullion markets and in the futures markets, where there's been a huge spike in the number of contract holders standing for delivery. Meanwhile, the inventory of actual bars and COMEX vaults relative to the number of paper ounces being traded just keeps dwindling. There is plenty of demand for silver as safe haven. You just can't tell by looking at the paper price. Consider that while the ratio of paper gold to silver is 113 to 1, the ratio is far lower than what comes to actual coins such as American Eagles. The price of one gold American Eagle equivalent to that is only 77 American Eagles. Seasoned precious metals investors continue to favor silver here, even if they've been penalized for making that choice in recent years. Despite the poor showing in silver's broken paper markets, silver's fundamentals will surely improve as the economy gradually reopens and the industrial demand recovers. And if the recent bull run in gold is the start of something much bigger, silver is very likely to outperform before that run is over. And that's definitely true, right? Silver is gold's little brother. So if gold's going to rise, silver is going to start outperforming gold, meaning the ratio lowers. And that's definitely true on many different levels. Now let's jump into this next article talking about the gold to silver ratio surges to all-time highs amid this virus crisis. So the silver gold ratio reached an all-time high of 120 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold amid the virus pandemic. After a brutal free fall from all major asset classes as the virus reared its ugly head mid-March, gold rebounded in a big way to prices not seen before since the largest bull run in history really started picking up steam around 7 years ago. While did silver bounce hard from its low around $12 an ounce, its current price is sitting a far cry from the near $20 level it was trading at just before the virus carnage. And that's definitely true. The virus threw things in a swing and it came full circle. Over the past 100 years, the silver to gold ratio has seen highs around 100 and lows around 20. Gold so far is the clear winner among metals as the crisis unfolds. Looming hyperinflation in the face of the unprecedented stimulus packages, gold shortages due to mining shutdowns, and everyone from retail investors to nationals stockpiling the yellow metal due to the uncertainty of past virus macroeconomic backdrop is leading the gold price to a clear course of $2,000 and beyond. And I've made articles talking about how gold could reach $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 in the next 5 or 6 years. We could be looking at new all-time highs in the next few months, if not weeks. So their short term is extremely bullish. So in terms of price, silver traditionally follows gold. It has a history of lagging behind for years, then catching up all at once, leading to eye-widening rallies. So far, we aren't seeing this kind of bullish momentum, but history repeats itself, and when we talk about silver and gold prices, we have more price data than we do for any financial instrument ever. So what is the correct silver to gold ratio? Historically, silver has been valued much higher compared to gold than we've seen in recent years. Upon the death of Alexander the Great, it was 12.5 ounces of silver every 1 ounce of gold. Historically, however, it's more about 15 to 1, and currently we're trading in metals in a way that suggests gold is more valuable compared to silver than it ever was. In all history, scientists have recently confirmed that there's about 19 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold in the Earth's crust. So technically speaking, gold is 19 times more rare than silver, and it's been trading near that range all throughout history. Just looking at the technical data and not considering our current economic backdrop, the silver to gold ratio due is for a significant correction. Whether gold is overpriced or silver is undervalued remains unclear. And that's the thing. It's either silver is extremely undervalued or gold is extremely overvalued. That's what that means. But if the flight to cash is over and investors are looking for a store of value to protect them from the coming inflation, metals are likely all going to benefit. So what's next for prices of silver and gold? There's a lot of work for silver bulls to do, and if they're going to catch up to gold, but history likely repeats itself. While gold is showing strength currently due to its use as a store of value since before history was beginning to get scribbled onto cave walls, it's more recently found uses in electronics and many applications. But not only is silver the best electrical and thermal conductor of all metals, it's finding even more applications in budding industries including solar panels, even with antibiotics, even with 5G technology and electric vehicles. If the silver-gold ratio were suddenly to correct about 20 to 1, which would fall in line with historical and even more recent data, it's likely a sharp upward correction would be made in the silver price, right? That either means that silver has to appreciate or gold has to depreciate in value. And more than likely, it means that silver is going to appreciate. So a correction in silver-gold ratio takes it back to the historical norms, 20 to 1, would see the current price of silver around $85 an ounce, which would be a 566% increase from the current levels. So could we see $85 silver? Is that possible? It's definitely possible, but it's going to take some time, right? We always talk about the case for $100 silver and what that means, or how it could happen, or what it would look like. And I definitely think that we would be seeing things slower than I think people are intended. If that happens, you would need silver to be gradually appreciating, not all at once, because if it skyrockets all at once, then there's going to be a huge correction afterwards, a huge crash, just like Bitcoin skyrocketed all at once and then it crashed all at once. You want the price, just like 2011 $50 silver crashed. It spiked really rapidly and it fell really rapidly, not to recover. If you want the prices to stabilize at those levels, it has to be a more gradual approach. There has to be sell-offs. There has to be dips. It's going to take a lot longer. And that's the good part too, because then as an investor, you have opportunities to buy back. You can buy back in, get more positions, get your silver for cheap, sell it at the tops, and make more money. So anyways, I just wanted to throw these two articles out because, silver is ridiculously cheap relative to gold, and that just means that we have more potential. There's more opportunity in silver than there is for gold. Gold's already at its peak. If you're going to be getting into gold, you're already paying a hefty premium. But silver is still standing extremely cheap, which means there's still a lot of opportunity in the silver market. So are you ready to take advantage of that? If so, let me know. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts, what your concerns, what your insight, what your perspective is on this, in this whole field of the gold to silver ratio and silver being undervalued compared to gold. Do you invest into gold? Or do you just solely invest into silver? I'm curious because that could determine a lot as well, and I would love to hear why. Why do you think gold has benefits as well? I definitely have some reasoning. Gold's a perfect way to store a lot of value in a short space. You can hold $100,000 of gold in a shoebox. You cannot do that with silver. So gold does have some benefits that silver does not. But besides that, silver basically performs in technology better than gold, being the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, the link to these 2 articles will be in the description if you want to check them out yourself. I highly recommend checking out the video I posted earlier today talking about how silver can be the vaccine that kills this virus, this pandemic. Interesting stuff from the Silver Institute. Definitely a banger video. Make sure you go like that one as well. Thank you for sticking around this long. If you are still watching this video, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you smash the like button. We have a 200 like goal on this video. I know it could reach that. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.